January 5th, 2024. I am Actual Pearl. It's time to get in the weeds. A wonderful Friday to wrap us up from an otherwise very busy schedule. Jeremy Lambert is here. He has not slept in about 48 hours, but he's here and he's going to give me a quick hello, how are you? And then we'll get to our guest who is with us this morning.
Hello, how are you, Joel Pearl? We made it through the week. Well, not quite yet, but we're close to making it through the week.
That's true. And we will make it through the week starting with a returning guest. We're very excited to welcome him back on the show this Saturday. That's tomorrow if you're watching us live, January 6th at 2300 Arena. It's MLW Kings of Colosseum. The national openweight title is on the line. The champion joins us now ahead of his death match, Taipe Deathmatch against Akira. Rickey Shane Page returns to the program. Good morning.
Yo, hello.
How you doing, Rickey? We appreciate you joining us. I feel like we just talked like 2 months ago. It hadn't been that long.
Hopefully you get some sleep.
Oh, Japan, Wrestle Kingdom, and everything.
I've been to one of those.
Yeah, it's okay. What was your experience like over there then?
In 2019, this is the first time I went to Japan, and it was around Wrestle Kingdom time, and I got to go watch as a fan, and it was awesome.
Okay, hold on. I got to do this because you've already mentioned Japan. I usually do a deep dive on Instagram and I try to find a little something for y'all to look at and tell me about. This is perfect.
There it is.
There it is. Talk to me. I mean, this was your first time learning how to use chopsticks properly. Are you still using them? And what's your sushi of choice?
So this is not actually in Japan, which is funny. I love sushi, but what's really funny is I don't like fish. So I only eat vegan sushi. So the first time I ever had sushi was in Japan with Zack Sabre Jr. actually, who's vegan, and he was like, I'll order some sashimi and stuff for you to try, but like you should try some of the veggie stuff too, which I did, and I liked it much better. So that picture is from a place here in Cleveland that's like a vegan sushi place. I'm pretty good at using chopsticks. I like force myself to learn how to use them because when I was there, I just thought it was respectful. So they would offer me forks and stuff all the time, and I was like, no, I'm good. I'll try. So I'm pretty good. I have chopsticks at the house now, and I know how to say them in Japanese. Hashi.
I gotta ask anybody who has been to Japan, did you go to Ribera? And if so, do you have a review?
I do. It's okay.
That's
part of the course.
Yes,
it's more of the experience of it, and like I went to the original one, like the one that everybody goes to is like the second one. There's two, so the original one is just like a bar with like 8 or 9 seats. And the first time I went to Japan, actually I went with Andy Williams, Butcher, and we went to the original Rivera and sat like where like Hogan and Andre the Giant sat and stuff like that, and yeah, it's cool. Mr. Danger is way better. If you ever get to go to Mr. Danger, go to Mr. Danger. It's the best steak I've ever had, like anywhere ever.
I think that's the consensus is Mr. Danger. Robert always gets the okay, experience good, but then everyone, when I ask, okay, where do you have to go to actually get a good steak over there? I think Mr. Danger.
Anywhere. I mean, the food there is amazing, but just as far as wrestling steak themed places, I would say Mr. Danger takes the cake. Plus Matsunaga's there, ripping your steak up and cooking it for you and bringing it out to you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's get into this weekend. MLW Kings of Colosseum. It's on Saturday. It's on Triller TV, or formerly Fight TV. Taipe Deathmatch. Rickey, what are we doing? I know you're a deathmatch guy. I had no issues with death matches. I can't take them in big if it's like a lot of them. It's a little tough for me, not gonna lie, but if it's one on the card, I'm good with it. What are we doing with this Taipe?
I mean, listen, Taipe Death in the ECW arena is legendary. That's where the first one happened with Ian Rotten and Axel, and I'm really excited to just be able to do that there and have that history, and it's just cool. It's just for me as a fan, I love DCW, and I worked for Ian Rotten. I did the IWA Mid-South. So again, it's just a very cool fan moment for me to be able to do Taipe in the arena. And then I did a no rope barbed wire match last weekend. So I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things as far as death matches go. I made a little announcement that I'm gonna start doing them again. There's about 10 guys in the world I'll do it with, like full on old school, like how I used to do it. And then and I'm running my own tournament next year as well. So yeah, death matches seems to be a theme that's coming back into my life right now.
I was gonna ask about your tweet that you made. You want to do the tournament.
Yes.
I know I don't know if you have full on plans for this, but
yes,
what kind of plans do you have going around right now?
I have a tentative date. I have tentative talent. I just need to lock down a few things before I can start announcing stuff. It'll happen in like the first half of this year, rather, and in the Midwest. We can't do death matches in Ohio because the Athletic Commission not supposed to. People do it anyways and could possibly get us in trouble, and ruin wrestling for everybody in Ohio. But so I'm looking at surrounding states and things like that, and I'm going big. Like, it's not just going to be some little deathmatch tournament. Like, when people start seeing the card and start seeing what I have planned, even if half of what I have planned happens, it'll still be the best deathmatch tournament ever.
Yeah, I know you said you're talking to talent, you have talent in mind, you're booking talent. Anyone you can tease, or is there anyone that historically you wish you could have brought in from, say, the past?
I won't say any names, but I will say this. It's not going to be your typical lot of wrestlers that do that style. I'll say that. It'll have those people for sure, but there's going to be some surprises. There's going to be some people that you're like, what? And that's my goal. Is to just I want wrestling to be exciting, and people sometimes they just get too wrapped up in the Twitter and all the bull and all the crap, and they're too worried about who's having sex with who, and like, I don't care. I just want to have a cool show and do cool wrestling. So that's my plan. That's all I'm doing.
Akira is no stranger to death matches either. He literally that's all he's wrestled in 2024, and now here he comes to do this with you. Have you talked to him about? I know you guys are not on the best terms, but like, are you prepared? Have you have ideas of what's going to happen this Saturday, taking on another person who he's literally all he's done is wrestle death matches this year?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Akira, he was just a regular wrestler at one point, just some kid from Indiana, and then he decided to get crazy, and look how far it's taken him. I'll give him that. I'll give him the respect there. Like, he does work hard. He grinds. He's in Japan. I don't know if he's back yet. I try not to keep too much track of Akira. But yeah, like, he's a crazy person. He's an insane man. He has put himself through some stuff, and but there's more lessons to be learned, and I guess I'm the one that's got to teach him.
Now, a Taipe Deathmatch, when I think about that, I think about glass specifically taped to your fists. Is this something that we're looking to do? Is this something we want to do? I know all bets are off, but let's go. What are we going to do with a Taipe Deathmatch?
100% Taipe Deathmatch is glass taped to your fists. And I'm going to take that tape and with covered glass, and I'm going to punch Akira in the face. Pretty simple when it comes to Taipe Deathmatches. I've been in a few. I wrestled the Madman Pondo in a Taipe Deathmatch on a Wednesday night in Nitro, West Virginia in 2007.
Is this something you would teach in your seminars? I know this is something you're talking about doing in the future as seminars, and you want to get out there as a seminar giver. Would this be something that you're going to talk about?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I think that there's a lot of people that want to do death matches and get into hardcore wrestling, and there's no one really showing people what to do and how to do it the right way. So I will 1000% do a hardcore wrestling seminar. Like, I would do that in a second. I mean, I can just do regular wrestling seminars, which I actually just did for Beyond Wrestling at their school this past week, and it was a blast. I had a really good time. I really like training people. It's something that I think I'm pretty good at, and yeah, it's just, I would love to do hardcore wrestling seminars. Actually, now you're saying that, that's actually a really good idea. Just because people don't know how to do it right, they really don't, and they just might get hurt, which is even crazier, because there is a there's a trick to that. So, and some people don't know the trick. So, I would love to do that. That sounds amazing.
The trick is stay still, and so when you get stabbed with glass, it doesn't spurt everywhere, and then David Arquette is freaking out, and then we have a whole ordeal.
Well, I mean, come on. He was in Scream. You think he's going to be able to handle getting hit with a bundle?
That's what people I don't understand is like David Arquette does all these movies, and all of a sudden he sees this and he's freaking out by it. It's like, dude, weren't you in this movie? Shouldn't you be prepared for this kind of stuff?
That's people get weird when it's like real life. Like when you're like, oh, it's just light tubes and these guys are doing their wrestling thing. It's like, no, that's really glass. Well, you could actually get hurt. And then once that happens, people are like, oh, okay. I didn't realize it was like this. Hey, listen, it even happens to David Arquette, who's a great guy, by the way. I was on a show with him before. It was super nice.
David Arquette pals with RJ City. Oh, yes. we love RJ City here. So.
He was on an Alpha One show in Canada one time, and it was great.
Alpha One's coming back. Have you talked with Ethan about working Alpha One?
I will be on all the Alpha One shows.
We talked about that last time Rickey joined us.
Yeah, I've only ever missed.
My memory's not great.
I've only ever missed a few Alpha One shows, and it was because I was out of the country. I actually ran one of the Alpha One shows because Ethan Page wasn't there. So I was like the one who talked to the wrestlers and like ran the back and made sure the show actually happened. He wasn't even there. He's like that's how much he trusts me in Alpha One and stuff like that. So I will, as much as I can be, I will be there.
When you're running a show like that, like what's the vibe? Like how are you feeling? Are you like stressed out if you're running a show? Are you like what's a show day like for Rickey if he's running the game?
For me personally, it's very nerve-wracking. It's because I want to make sure everything is perfect, and I have a hard time letting other people do that. Me delegating and letting go, because like if I do it, I know it's going to be done the way I want. So it's very stressful for me, and also, but it's something I've been learning. I have to delegate. I have to give people things to do. I have to trust that like my team is going to be able to do it, and that's something that I've been learning, in the past couple of years, to be honest. Everything that I would say that I take when I run shows, I learned from Ethan Page. His formats, the way he writes the shows out, just the way he talks to everybody, the flow, just very hands-on. I've taken that and added my own stuff to it. And between Alpha One, Ethan Page, and watching Mike Quackenbush run Chikara, I took a lot of stuff from that and then used that to run shows. And just as long as you're prepared for everything and you have an answer, like things go pretty smooth, because things are going to come up, things are going to inevitably go wrong. That's just the way it is. But as long as you just kind of stay calm. But I'll tell you this, I love it. I thrive in it. I really do enjoy it. Like I enjoy running shows. I enjoy booking things. I enjoy, agenting matches, which I've been doing a lot of at MLW. It's been really, really, really cool and rewarding.
I was going to ask, I think you did mention last time you'd agent some matches. You definitely mentioned Raven told you to shut up and just be happy when you were complaining about things. I think you mentioned agenting, and I know Sami Callihan is coming back in, and Court Ballard mentioned that Callahan's going to be doing some agenting as well. And what is that like being at MLW and doing agenting with stuff and talking to people? And then also Callahan's return to also going to do some of that backstage.
It's been great. I mean, it kind of happens to me naturally anyways. Like people always come to me and talk and ask about their matches and stuff. So it's nice to get, paid for it now and have everybody know that it's like actually my job. So it comes with some responsibility, obviously, because in those matches that I agent, they feel like they're my matches and they have to be good. So when they're not, I get annoyed by with myself being like, okay, I could have done this, said this, whatever to make that go a little smoother. It's an invaluable lesson that I'm getting, like basically going to college for wrestling and being able to learn from Court Bauer, who, who's done a lot of cool stuff in wrestling, a lot of cool stuff. So it's really, really cool. And then getting Sami, I mean, I've known Sami since, when I meet Sami? 2006? I think
say Ohio boys.
Yeah, I met Sammy when he was like a rookie, basically, like fresh out to school. Still, his name was Cannonball Sammy Callahan. Like, I've known Sammy forever, almost 20 years now. So, and he is so smart when it comes to wrestling. Like, Revolver is so cool. Like, I don't think people realize how cool Revolver is, and it's because of Sammy. And so having him at MLW is going to be great. He's just a good mind for it, and like has great ideas, and he has great ideas for other people. And I think that's the benchmark of a good, agent, producer, backstage person. Is to just, when you have better ideas for other people than yourself, then you should probably work backstage. And that's what happens with me. Like, I have way better ideas for other people than I do myself.
Well, you mentioned Sammy Callahan. You talked about Wrestling Revolver. Let's talk about Riches Equals Death. Killer
Yes.
Kelly, Alex Colon, yourself, and oh god, Steve Macklin.
Steve Macklin
together, and why them, and why Steve Macklin? And God, Macklin's just a bum. Anyway, why them?
Why not? Mac's awesome. I think he gets kind of that, he's a WWE guy thing, but really, dude, he's the man. When I tweeted I was gonna do my deathmatch tournament, he like quote tweeted and was like, and it's like, dude, because he probably legitimately was like, I could do that. He's a badass. I love Macklin, good brother. But sometimes you just get that reputation of being a WWE guy because you're good at your job. Because sometimes you just need them guys that are really good that can have those good matches, and Steve's one of those guys. And plus, like I said, he's just a nice dude. And plus, Killer Kelly, great. Her new gimmick she's doing is awesome. Everybody loves it / hates it, and like she's doing it to perfection. Alex Colon, underrated wrestler in general. I've known Alex forever, almost as long as I've known Sammy. So, and he's one of the best deathmatch wrestlers of all time. So it's a random pairing or grouping for sure. It doesn't seem like it would fit, but when we're out there together and we're doing stuff, it works, and it has like a special feel to it. And like, I'm really excited about the future of Red. Really, honestly, I am.
Steve Macklin is great. Don't let this guy that way. Don't let him, whatever he has to say. Well, Joel, if Macklin wants to be on this deathmatch tournament, you can be in it, and you can finally face Macklin.
Maybe
we can do this.
Yeah, I'll use my avatar, Sean Ross Sapp. He'll come and do it for me.
Brother, Sean Ross Sapp's going to be begging for a book, and I know that guy.
Hold on, let's go up in the chat.
Yeah, we can pull it up. Yeah, he literally.
There it is.
See, exactly, brother. He's always angling for something, old Sean Ross Sapp. I know him.
We know what we're doing here. Listen, I'll see Macklin this next weekend in Vegas at Hard to Kill, and then he and I will hash out our details, our problems.
I hope he
Listen,
punches
I'll
you in
tell
the
him.
face.
I'll tell him you're coming. All right, me and Steve are good. I'll tell him you're gonna hash it out. Just be careful. He's a big brother.
He knows where to find me. It's all right.
I'm just saying, Mac's big, man. People don't realize that. Macklin's a big brother.
Listen, I sent congratulations to him because his fantastic wife Deonna Purrazzo got signed to AEW. That's great. I said congratulations. I'll see you in Vegas, and he just gave me a thumbs up. Right?
I'm sure he'll be happy with that. He want to talk about a man who loves his wife. That's Steve Macklin right there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I look forward to Macklin slicing with a light tube, Joel. That's what's going to happen. Ricky, if you ever see Joel, you can punch him in the face too. Just anybody who appears on this show, they just have full rights to just punch him in the face. No, we don't need to get anybody else involved. Just good. Move on.
Noted.
We're all good with everything.
All right. Yeah. You know what? Because of this, because we've done it before, and because you liked it, let's do partner promo punch in the face, Ricky Shane Page.
Oh yeah, dude, I forgot about this. Yeah, please.
We're gonna use your red partners: Killer Kelly, Alex Colon, and Steve Macklin. Ricky Shane Page, partner promo punch in the face.
I'm gonna promo on Kelly because that's funny. I'm gonna partner with Mac because he's big, and I'm gonna punch Alex Colon in the face because sometimes we got to do deathmatch stuff, and the deathmatch boys just gotta wrestle each other sometimes. And some of my best death matches I've ever had was with Alex, so that's what I'll do. We'll go there.
Okay, I like it. I'll take it.
Ricky, thank you for joining us this morning. Really, really appreciate it. Good luck this weekend. It's MLW Kings of Colosseum, Saturday, January 6th. Make sure I get my times correct here. Triller TV, Fight TV, Fight Plus. It's all the same thing. but you can find it there. Ricky Shane Page will be defending the MLW National Openweight Championship against Akira in a Taipe Deathmatch. They're going to dip their hands into real glass and then punch each other in the face, and it's going to be MLW's putting on some good shows. I'm looking forward to.
We
really
are.
Saturday.
We've been
really
looking forward. Like these shows have been awesome, and they've been really fun to be a part of. And like the production's so good, just everything. Like, give MLW a shot.
I like that
one
it's
shot.
Should I do it? Okay, let's
Oh,
Ricky,
no.
you did face you faced at the last show MLW the tag team title match.
Yes.
MLW one shot. So this weekend though, Ricky, it's not one shot, but if you had one shot, one moment,
one
opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, would you capture it or let it slip?
Yeah. I mean, I'm too big to be called B-Rabbit. I can tell you that. I would never let an opportunity slip because I love spaghetti. So
there you go. Man. See, it's not vomited all over your sweater either.
Nope. I would never let spaghetti like that.
Shout out RSP, the first guy to actually get it right as you started the gimmick.
Oh, I knew exactly what you were doing.
Richard.
Holiday Rocky Romero was completely confused. Richard Holiday was. I think Richard was just selling me a little bit, but Holiday didn't get it at first. But
Brother,
Romero,
nothing past me. When it comes to movies, literally nothing. We play this game. I don't want to waste all your guys' time, but we play this game in the car where people say a movie and then I say what year it came out, and I can usually get it within 2 years, and I can say who was in it. I'm like a weird savant because I used to watch movies a lot when I was a kid.
Are we about to play this game?
You can play it.
Yeah. Do you want to? Okay. All right. Let's throw out.
Give me a movie.
I'll use an older movie. Okay.
Porky's. Oh, yeah. 83.
81. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure about. Oh God, what's that guy's name in it? That's hard to get people's names. That was in the 70s, yeah, or in the early 80s. But yeah, 81. So yeah, Porky's. Yeah, I've seen Porky's for sure. Keep going. Listen, I'll do this all day.
I don't even know if I can do this.
I did this for 7 hours driving to Atlantic City, New Jersey one time, and all the people in the car could not get me.
Good Lord. Dead Poets Society.
I want to say 94.
1989.
89? It's that old?
Wow. Look at Joel.
Fuck, right off rip, too. I was talking.
That's what happens when you're friends with Steve Macklin. Everything goes down.
89? Wow, that's shocking to me. I thought it was late. Give me another one. I need one more. I need to redeem myself.
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. That's 88. Right?
I should look up myself very quickly. 87. Yeah,
see,
close.
Okay. Well,
I'm like, man, got me. Now I'm gonna have to go watch it.
I'll give you.
Listen, that Punch promo or partner, I'll play those games all day. All right.
Hey, it's a good way to kill time in the car.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Ricky, let everybody know where they can find you at.
At Ricky Shane Page on everything. I'm not too whatever. Do what you got to do. I'm not gonna beg for followers. But if and watch. I'll say this: watch MLW, follow MLW. Please watch the pay-per-view this weekend. It's gonna be great. Me and Akira in a Taipe Deathmatch. And when I announce stuff for my Deathmatch tournament, please come. That's.
Please come.
That's all. Please come. That's it.
Welcome back.
There we go.
Oh no!
I don't know what happened.
I was just plugging stuff, and I don't know what happened.
The Ohio Commission got you, and they're like, "You ain't running that shit here, buddy."
Listen, brother, they're always trying to get me. Where did you guys hear?
You started the deathmatch tournament, and then it was.
I said, come to the deathmatch tournament, and when I announce it, please come to it. That's all I said.
And then Ohio cut you off.
Dude, listen, brother, we just got the internet a couple weeks ago, all right?
That's actually true. That sounds about right.
And again, check out Kings of Colosseum. MLW puts it on this Saturday, January 6th. It's going to be on Triller TV or Thriller TV if you're Richard Holiday. Taipe Deathmatch. It's Akira versus Ricky Shane Page for the MLW National Openweight Championship. Ricky Shane Page, thank you so much for hanging out with us this morning.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Ricky.
Tell Jody I said hi.
We will. Jody's actually going to be with us on Wednesday.
Oh, she I saw that she was going to be on. She's the best. She's so good. But yeah,
she's wonderful. Yeah. I got an email at midnight being like, "That we're going to change it, so it's Wednesday now."
Anyways, have a good one, guys.
Thank you,
Ricky.
Bye.
Good luck this weekend. Have fun getting punched and punching people with
Oh,
glass.
100%. That's what I do every weekend.
Take care. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye. Oh man.
Ricochet Page is great.
Fantastic.
He's one of our. We've had a few repeat guests. I feel, but
Yeah, we've had Vinny Pacifico a couple times.
Vinny, yeah.
Who else?
Vinny's just Vinny will just randomly appear.
Yeah. Trying to think of was Jock James? Was he?
No, we've only had Jock once.
Jock
I don't
was one
think
time.
we've had as many. I don't think we've had as many repeat guests as like I think we have, because I'm also like thinking Spotlight as well. Because like Cole's probably been on this show.
Oh yeah,
at
Cole's
least
been on more than
twice.
once. Yeah, he's been on twice.
Yeah, but
It, LP
you
and
throw
then
in Spotlight, and he's on every month. It seems. But Rickey was very close together. We just talked to him in like November ahead of the previous MLW show. But yeah, Ricky's very fun. I love that I don't fully love it, but you pop so much with the partner promo punch that it's honestly a little upsetting. Why are you trying to get yourself killed by Steve Macklin though, Joel?
Whatever. I'll see him next weekend. We'll hash it out.
What are you doing? I'm trying to get you this deathmatch booking. How do you think you're doing a deathmatch, Joel?
Awful. How do I think I do in anything? Ask. You know what? Ask Sean Ross Sapp. I am very not coordinated when it comes to this stuff. I am uncoordinated. I'm a good talker. I'm a good host. I am not a good wrestler. We'll put it like that. I wrestled in high school, but like, yeah, not professional wrestling. I could do like gym wrestling, you know. But yeah, not anymore.
Could you get smacked? Would you take a light tube to the head?
No, what if it's the work light tubes, you know, the ones with the dust sucked out of it properly, then yes, I would maybe consider it.
Okay, can we do that on the show?
Not on the show.
Why? We gotta get content out of it.
Tell you what, yeah, listen. So we'll do it somewhere else. I'm getting messages now from the anonymous ITW general manager saying you're gonna work yourself into a death match.
I'm not getting hit with a light tube, folks.
Good
That's.
Lord.
I'll do a lot of bits. I'll do a lot of. You gotta donate a lot of super chat money. You want to see me get hit with a light tube? Okay. I get Bishop. Bishop doesn't live too far away. Guarini doesn't live too far away. If they want to come down here and we get the proper funds to do this, then sure, we'll get it. I'm not gonna have my. She is literally messaging no amount of money.
Listen,
$5,000. I'll do a light tube spot.
30 eggs in one light tube. Hey, by the way, sorry, we're already, because whenever we have a guest right at the top, I don't get to do this, but leave a thumbs up on the video, of course, and subscribe to us here at Fightful Overbooked, because we're on our way to 15,000 subscribers. Jeremy's too busy popping himself to do the thumbs up with the fireworks, so that's good stuff. And of course, you can donate a super chat, any amount, get your question or statement read on the air, and it supports us here at Fightful Overbooked, so I can pay people like our new shorts editor, who we put up a short today from the Kip Sabian interview that our guy Cookie Guy did a wonderful job on. So those will be coming out slowly, not slowly, but more and more with the channel. So we want y'all to interact with that and share them as well. But yeah, your super chats will help us pay those wonderful people. Okay, all right.
1 hour is how long you got to do it.
Oh, let's go.
You don't even get a full show. You get 1 hour in the show.
And yes, we had planned and we had promoted to have Jody Thread on the show today at 11:40 a.m. We're not anymore. She got bumped, not by me. I got an email from TNA.
Apologies to Matt Damon.
Yes, apologies to Matt Damon. And yes, I got an email from TNA at like 11:45. I was asleep. I had woken up to the email, and they said, "Hey, we got to bump Jody to next Wednesday." So next Wednesday, really, I'll tell you now. The plan is that we are looking at TNA week. So get excited for that. We'll announce Monday's guest soon. We're shoring up a couple of details. On Monday we'll announce the guest. No, we'll maybe during the weekend, once things are sent out and set up, we will say who is scheduled. We're very excited for this interview. So we'll have some TNA talent for Monday tentatively, and for Wednesday, at least definitely, according to TNA, who sent me the email with the new time and new date. So we'll be looking forward to that. Instead, you just get us for the next hour and a half. I'm so sorry.
Jeremy is for making his wife happy right?
The
So
Jeremy's for the people when the money comes in.
yeah. I can't say $5,000 over the course of a week, and that would be pretty impressive, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, if y'all did 5,000 over a week, I'd strongly. You see me winking?
Yeah, I see your attempt.
Strongly consider it.
Let's see, $5,000
Yeah.
in a week.
Yeah.
All right. I know some people we can call for that money. Let's talk. By the way, so let's start with this. Jeremy Lambert, I was right. I was mostly right.
About what?
Well, a lot of things. Remember, everyone was like, "Oh my God, the big announcement for the Peacock show. Maybe it's the TNA thing." And I was like, "No, it's probably just a live event / pay-per-view announcement." It wasn't SummerSlam, but it was Money in the Bank, and they're going to be doing a weekend of WWE programming. They'll have SmackDown, Money in the Bank, and NXT Heatwave in Toronto, in my wonderful, beautiful hometown, not hometown, but place I live now. And looking forward to that. That's in July. And unfortunately, Sean's probably also going to be there. So I am useless at that point. So I was right, kind of.
Congratulations.
Thank you. No upward inflection. Just say congratulations.
Congratulations.
But you're still doing that upward inflection.
Congratulations.
Nope, still doing this is like pulling teeth for you, isn't it? All right, let's talk about
people. I saw people got mad at the big announcement is just Money in the Bank. People get mad over big announcements nowadays.
First of all, to those people I asked, were you watching the Peacock special? Were you planning on watching the Peacock special? Was this announcement going to make you want to watch the Peacock special more? Just like Jeremy talking about Rock and Roman in Australia and why, from a media standpoint, it doesn't work. It's the same idea here on a different scale. It's still media related. It's still related to where their product airs. So for me, it was like, yeah, it's probably just going to be a major like show announcement. And it was. And it's not going to be like a Raw is moving to Peacock, because that news probably would have already gotten out. That would have already been like, they would have leaked it to people or whoever, Variety, whatever trade they want. But instead, no, it was Money in the Bank. And I was like, first of all, for me, it's easy to be excited because it's where I live. But for others, it's a big deal because Money in the Bank is a fun show, and NXT hasn't done like a super major market in a little while. So attached to a WWE weekend specifically. So this is a good opportunity for everyone. And I can get my interview with Joe Gacy live.
I hope that happens for you.
It's the only thing I want. It's the only thing I want.
I do agree that, like, I don't know if weaponized is the right word, but like we put so much onto these announcements. And look, sometimes I think they can do a better job with the wording and everything. Is it a big announcement? Yes, it is kind of big. It's big for the Toronto market, sure. But when I looked at this for this announcement, I didn't think you were going to get this big deal on a WWE draft special on Peacock. Like, it doesn't seem like that like you're going to get a big deal off of that. I thought it just might be an event. And that's honestly what it turned out to be. It turned out to be Money in the Bank. I thought it might be an event or a match. And it turned out to be Money in the Bank. And it's like, okay, that's cool. And the fact that they announced it earlier in the day, actually funnier, because the people who were online, I know people got mad at Sean of like, oh, this isn't it. What are you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. But it's actually funnier that Triple H just went ahead and announced it earlier in the day. It's like, hey, if you were going to tune in for this big announcement, we already just announced it. So like, if you want to tune in, cool. If you don't, you're not really missing anything. So like, it's fine. It's okay. I thought it was funnier. We gotta stop. We gotta stop like caring what these announcements are. Honestly, like we got to. And then I say that, and now any announcement, of course, we're going to talk about and tease, but what's it going to be? Speculate and all of this stuff. We're part of the problem.
Who is the biggest signing in TNA history? That's not actually that at all, because it's not what Scott said. No, you're right. Listen, it is a bit about tempering expectations. And it's also, this is why, again, on our show, we sit here and we're like pie in the sky and our realistic expectation. And we kind of say that something in the middle is there and don't set your hopes too high. You know, if Jeff Valley Driver were here, he would remind us the thing that I always forget.
Speculate, don't expect.
Yeah, that's the one. I like this bit where I never remember what Jeff says. Louis saying, too much Toronto. We need events in a city that doesn't get it very often, like Chicago. He's right.
New Japan's going to Chicago.
Yeah, Windy City Riot's coming back. That's pretty good. You think CM Punk's going to debut at New Japan Pro Wrestling's Windy City Riot?
That'd be funny. They're running Wintrust though. Like they gotta have something to run that show. Like AEW is doing like 5,000 there, which is like fine, but that's a building that can hold up to 10. Like you want it to be a pretty strong showing here. It feels like they got to have something if they're running Wintrust.
I mean, how much did the Pyramid hold? 4,000. So yeah, you're right. They got a lot to. But also, those venues you can scale them.
You can. They got 2,000 last time they ran in Chicago, which was technically it was Moxley and Ospreay won. It was 2022, the last Windy City Riot. Upwards to 10,000. Like they got to be expecting at least 5 if they're running this building.
Well, listen, New Japan's new Ohio ace is already in. He's ready. His name is Nick Nemeth, and he will sell out the Wintrust Arena. And I'm sure Matt Riddle and Tanahashi will also be a match that happens at Battle.
Riddle and Tanahashi. Yeah, I don't know when Riddle and Tanahashi is going to take place. Battle in the Valley makes some sense.
Yeah, I don't see Riddle running. Well, I mean, I could see him running to Japan. I don't see it being on a card in Japan randomly until the summer.
Nah, right? He said he wants to wrestle in Japan. They got the New Beginning show in February. Oh, yeah. That's a possibility. That's Ospreay's last New Japan match that was announced this morning. That was that's gonna be a cage match too. United Empire against Bullet Club. First cage match in front of fans in New Japan history. That'd be something.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. There's a lot of stuff that New Japan kind of reset and redid, including giving their president the television champion.
That rolled.
That did roll. And I just saw the article that dropped with Naito saying maybe Tanahashi should retire and he can focus on the presidency.
Naito also rules.
He does.
Dude, bless Naito. Yeah, I wrote that article at like 5 a.m. this morning. Just now posted it. Schedule, everybody. You can schedule stuff, so it makes it seem like you're working when you're not. Bless Tetsuya Naito. Okay, here's why. He wins this title, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Great match against Sonata. Main event, Wrestle Kingdom. Crowd was so into it. Still got it. Tetsuya Naito still got it. Still that dude in New Japan. Wins, works Dash the next night. Doesn't even work main event. Doesn't even work co-main event. Shirt back on. Just going through Tranquillo Naito. Just not bumping. Chilling. Like, yeah, I'm good. Back in the small building now. Sonata's like, let's do one more match, brother. And Naito's just like,
nah.
Just leaves. Just doesn't answer him or anything. Naito rules so much, man. He really does. He is a work smarter, not harder person in Japan. And he works in these interviews as well. Like him saying, like, yeah, Tanahashi should retire, focus on the presidency. Like there's the famous stories of Naito like taking journalists out or like getting taken out by journalists and stuff, and like them paying for everything, and Naito just like ordering just a bunch of shit and then just like leaving and really sticking them with the bill and stuff. So many good Naito stories over there in Japan. Dude's a worker. Gotta love him. Got to go watch Naito and Sonata though if you've not seen it. That's a top tier match. Not quite as good as Bryan Danielson and Kazuchika Okada, but still a really good match.
Yeah, I've got to catch up on Wrestle Kingdom. I caught up on sleep instead, so this is
like?
I couldn't tell you. Having a toddler is tough work, but he goes back to school on Monday, so that's all that matters. We've had him for 2 weeks at home, and I'm wired. I'm caffeine 24.
I've had 12 kids for 2 weeks at home, Joel. You don't see me complaining?
It's different. It's different. It is. You keep them busy, and God bless your wife. She's wonderful at also keeping them busy. But like, you know, this isn't a cop out. This is not me making fun or anything. But like, one benefit that kids of older parents have, or
Are you calling us old?
yeah, sorry, parents of older kids have, is that you can, if they're gamers or if they're like the focus is different, they can use a video game console, they can watch TV, they can play outside, sometimes
Not here. It's snowing here.
Well, that's your problem. It's here. Anyway.
That's Ohio.
My point is, we can't do that with a 21-month-old. I have to have my eyes on him at all times, or else he climbs things he's not supposed to climb.
Just stick him in the fridge, and then you know where he's at the whole time.
He would do that. He would love it. He'd probably giggle his little ass off, and then we'd leave.
Yeah. Just stick him there. Like, he'll be all right.
It's fine. He'll be good. Anyway, let's focus on the wrestling. Let's talk about Dynamite.
We're talking about New Japan. Just because I watched it and you did it, I'm a professional. Covering, not sleeping for the love of the game over here, Joel.
I am the only parent to suffer. I want people to know this. Send me your money so I can get my kid through college.
I told you, just give him some vodka.
That doesn't listen to college. That keeps him out of it.
Don't listen to me.
Yeah, I need a
get one of those like baby harnesses.
Can I tell you? So in our building, people have like a community drop zone in like our condos community, where like old stuff they don't need or just like stuff they're getting rid of, they leave it in an area. Somebody left one of those like kennels / like just metal cages that you would put a dog in to train them for sleeping and stuff. They left it there, and I was like, I wonder. I thought about it for a minute. I thought about getting it and setting it up because I know that the kid would like it, but I also know that then people would call certain services on us and we'd have a problem. So I'd have to document the entire thing. I have to go into the area and be like, oh, this looks fun. And then of course the internet would be like, this is totally fake. This is staged. And I'll be like, no, it's not staged the whole way through. I'd have to be like, I found it. Look, the kid loves it. He's building it with me. Look, he's going into the thing. Look, he wants to sleep here tonight. I'm not going to stop him. I mean, I'd have to stop him, but the point is,
I don't want to hear about just because you have a 21-month-old kid who apparently you have to keep an eye on all the time for reasons. I don't want to hear that. When again, I got 12 kids and I got a cat who is the most famous cat in the world, and she leaves gifts. I put that in quotes because I know this cat is listening to this show, and I ain't happy with these gifts at 5 a.m. in the morning, at 6 a.m. in the morning, all day, all throughout the day. I got to keep an eye on this friggin' cat so I don't see where she leaves her gifts, Joel. That's way tougher than your kid who might climb something or also might throw up. This cat and this kid, same thing.
5,000 for Light Tube, 6,000 for Joel's parenting. Hell in a Cell. Let's go. It's not a big cage. It was collapsed, so I don't know how big it was. Anyway, let's talk
about this cat in a cage, and then it can't go anywhere, and then I don't have to deal with the gifts. Get better gifts.
Despite all his rage, Jeremy's cat still belongs in a cage.
That's who used to do that promo? I'm bop and I'm in a rage. I want bop and I want him in a cage.
I don't know. That sounds like a terrible promo, though. Who was that? I want to suss them out and cuss them out.
I don't know if I think someone like dubbed it with music and stuff. I don't think it quite went like that, but the music part is always stuck in my head, not the actual promo. So
seems bad. Let's not let that. Anyway, Dynamite. Dynamite happened. Dynamite was very good. Dynamite was very good in a vacuum. There were certain things I loved and certain things I didn't love. And I think we need to talk about it.
Why are you a hater?
I am a hater. I've already been called a hater in the chat.
Why do you hate AEW, Joel?
I hate it because they ain't it. Is that it? No?
Elite wrestling? Is that what you were calling them?
Ain't elite. Well, no, because Hangman Page came back, so at least one member of the Elite is back in All Elite Wrestling. And by the way, that was fantastic. Him coming in House of Fire just to cut off Matt Menard and Renee Paquette and just be like, I will beat anyone's ass, including yours, and then walking back. It was good. And then coming out at the very end of the show.
Why was he so late to work?
Well, you know, that's typically what happens with Hangman, with cowboys. When they're out doing cowboy shit.
The horse got stuck at the light. Yeah,
exactly,
that's fair.
Exactly. You gotta make sure that it goes. So yeah, it was a very strong episode of Dynamite. I do mention that it is in a vacuum because one of the things that we often talk about, and I think this is criticism that exists, and I don't think it's bad. It's that sometimes an episode of Dynamite feels more like a super indie card that's booked than a storyline progressing show throughout the months. And that's not the entire show. There are bits and pieces of that show. So before y'all start getting weird about it, it was a fun episode. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed watching it. There are certain things that I came out with being like, wait, why did we do this? And I think of other ways that we can do it. No, it's not always going to fly with the audience, and it's not always going to be someone's cup of tea. So I will say these are always subjective takes on things that already happened on a television program. My takes are objective. I am right about everything. But
what did you, besides the entire show, what did you hate
the entire show
about this show?
I like the Deonna Purrazzo debut. I think that Mariah May had a very, very strong match.
I'd love to watch it on YouTube. You can't find it.
Is it not up?
No, I tweeted about this yesterday. It's there, but it's under the title for Deonna Purrazzo's big debut is, they changed it. Oh, look at that. I get shit done around here, Joel. I get shit done.
This is why you need a job with AEW.
As much as they take from me, you'd think they'd pay me a little something. People are like, oh, Jeremy must be on the AEW take. Brother, they've fixed enough stuff that I've suggested that they should be paying me, okay? So yesterday, the title for this video was shit to her, yes. It was like lights, camera, action, Mariah May's debut against Queen Aminata. And it was highlights. It was like the end of the match. And then it was the whole post-match promo. And it was the whole Deonna's debut and everything. And I was like, why is that Deonna's debut video? So I tweeted. I was like, I think AEW's gotten done better with their YouTube. But one thing that they could do a little bit better is like, this is the video for Deonna's debut. Maybe like do separate videos or change the title, because the title of Deonna Purrazzo's debut video, not having Deonna Purrazzo on there is probably not the best optics. It's not great. So they have now changed it to no, they don't give a shit about that.
They used to not give a shit. And I saw the few times they've tried it, but also like the AEW way of doing things is like, well, I mean, it's really all wrestling. It's like, as it airs, it's out there. It's up to you to not, spoil it for yourself if you're watching later. Basically, stay off social media if you're not watching now.
The new title for the video is The Virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo Plays Spoiler for Mariah May's in-ring debut. It does not have the exclamation points, which they have in literally every single video. Look at any title on these AEW videos, exclamation point. Fucking exclamation point. Apologies for my language. Every single video. So it goes to show that they did change it, but they're not happy about it. They're not happy that I called them out on it. And they were like, in protest, we will not have the exclamation point.
Wow. So Deonna has officially signed with the AEW. She has made her debut in New Jersey, as she should. I think that was good timing. That was the thing that I was thinking. I was like, oh, they're in Jersey, and this is like the perfect place if Deonna's going to land to debut her, because that's what you do. You want a big pop. You want people who know that you're from Jersey, or you tell them that it works. So I did enjoy it. And now the big question is, does this last? Does she, because she announced that she's going after Toni Storm and going after the AEW Women's Championship. If and when that match happens, what happens afterwards? We've seen so many women come into AEW. come in, challenge for a title, and then back of the line or never to be seen again. I think someone mentioned Taya Valkyrie recently. It's a very good point. Now she's on AEW programming, working with the Renegade Twins. Okay. There are little things that it takes a lot of time for some people to kind of resurface. And I'm hoping that someone like Deonna bucks that trend. And if it is Mercedes Moné who joins next up for the women's division, that's another person that I hope bucks that trend. But now you got to also worry about Deonna and whatever position they put her in if someone like Mercedes Moné is going to join All Elite Wrestling as well. So I like the match. I think Queen Aminata and Mariah May had a really strong match. Mariah May beat the shit out of that woman and she sold it like death. And I thought it was good stuff. And then the promo was good from both of them. So that was good. I was a big fan of that stuff.
I like the debut. I like the match between Mariah May and Queen Aminata. I said it yesterday on Spotlight. I hope that this is not a Deonna has the match, loses, where's she going to go from here type of thing, because they do that. Usually when they do that, it's in the TBS. Like when Athena came in, it was Cargill. When Taya came in, also Cargill. I guess a little bit of Statlander as well. So I hope, because if you come in and you go after the title and you don't win the title, because AEW is so focused on titles, especially in the women's division, it goes to, oh, where do you go from here type of thing. This is where AEW has to prove that they can do other stuff that is not centric to the title. And I will say, I think they've done a better job of doing this. And based on the upcoming card, especially tonight on Rampage, they will continue to do a better job of doing this. So I will have some faith that if Deonna wins or loses the title, it will not just be, okay, we don't really have anything for you. We did your stuff with the title now. I'm looking forward to what Deonna actually looks like in AEW. I'm sure it'll be good, but yeah, I'm looking forward to her. It's fresh matches, right? Like, she kind of done everything in Impact. So it was like, all right, she can still have good matches, but what else is there for her to really do in Impact? Now, like, you get some really fresh matches for her. And like, she was a character on Impact. She was a virtuosa. It's a different level in AEW because it's more eyes on you. It's more just, it's different talent around you. It's a different pace. It's a different style. So how does that all go in AEW? And by the way, I think it's going to go fine. I got full faith in Deonna Purrazzo, but it's just different. And I'm looking forward to seeing how she adapts to all of that.
And let's face it, Deonna Purrazzo is not booking Deonna Purrazzo. So that's really the major concern is, as typically is, and it's as gender non-specific. It's how are you booked once you come in, once you make your, no pun intended, impact in AEW, what happens after that first initial big moment, that big shining moment. Let's just talk right about this now. Darby Allin and Konosuke Takeshita have a fantastic match, and Takeshita gets the win back. And now they're going to do, next week, they've challenged, it's Takeshita and Hobs versus Sting and Darby for AEW Homecoming Dynamite at Daly's Place, which I think is a great match that you can put together. My only fear is that Darby's just going to get his win back and pin Takeshita, and then we're back to square one. I hope I'm wrong, but there's that looming cloud of like, Sting and Darby have a tag match. Don Callis said, you're undefeated, Sting, ever since you started here in AEW. We're going to be the number one. Well, that makes me start thinking, like, I don't think we're going there. I think you have to keep Sting undefeated going into his final match at Revolution. So who takes the fall? Is it Takeshita being pinned by Darby and then we're 50-50, or Hobbs gets pinned? But why would you pin Hobbs? He's big, powerful dude. So that's my big question. Or Hobbs pinning Darby is another one someone said, but I don't know. That's like my one concern was, I'm glad that they're doing the tag match. I wonder how they're going to run that finish.
I would have Hobbs pin Darby. I know they like to do the Sting's undefeated. We're going to keep Sting strong and all of this stuff. I get that. If he's not going after the title, does it really matter that he has this undefeated record? You tout it, but then you don't actually do anything with it as far as like, okay, he's undefeated. Are they challenging for the tag titles? Is Sting challenging for the world title? By the way, run some Samoa Joe and Sting. I'm all for that. Like, they're not going after these titles. So who really cares if they're undefeated? Sting's not even undefeated in singles. He hasn't wrestled a singles match. Literally every match he's been in has been with Darby Allin.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah, he's not undefeated in singles at all. So I don't think the undefeated thing actually matters that much. But it is something they like to point out. Tony certainly likes to point it out. I wouldn't put too much stock into it. I would have Hobbs beat Darby, and then Darby loses. Who cares? Darby's gonna lose. He's fine. He's protected. He's good.
He's going to Everest.
He's going to Everest. I understand what you're saying though, of like, okay, you got this big win for Takeshita. Now you do a tag team match. Conventional wisdom says Darby and Sting are going to win because Darby and Sting always win. And so what does the singles victory for Takeshita prove if they're just going to lose back in a tag team match? It's still a good win for Takeshita, but we've seen him get good wins. And then the follow-up has been what it's been with him. This was a good getting back on track for him, but you got to continue. What do we always, at least what I always say, you can do moments. You can do good moments. You can do good moments in matches and stuff, but how do you follow up that moment to actually make it mean something and not just almost a fan service clap of like, you want us to book Takeshita strong? Here's a great match against Darby where he wins. And then he's going to team with Hobbs and lose in a tag team match next week. All right. You gave us that moment, but you got to give us more than the moment. Really, we're arguing about something that may or may not happen anyway.
Right.
Put Hobbs over Darby. Fucking have Hobbs beat Sting.
So I don't actually hate the idea of Hobbs pinning Darby if that means Takeshita and Hobbs say we want the tag titles because we've now beaten, like we're winning. And now they can start at least building towards a tag title program or putting themselves in contention. That would be fine with me, but we'll see what happens, where it goes. Again, the match with Darby and Takeshita, great match. I hope whatever story that they're working on plays out well. They have a few months until Sting's retirement match at Revolution. We still don't know what it is or where it's going or who it could be against. That's still a big, who knows? And that's not a bad thing. Again, I would have loved to have started this, as early as last month when they announced it and start building to some story. The concern is always Chris Jericho.
Here's your story, Joel. Here's your story.
The story is there is a story.
Hobbs and Takeshita lose. Sting and Darby win. Big celebration. Where are they at? Daly's Place, right? Right. Hangman's back, right? Daly's Place. Hangman's back. Kenny, best wishes. Probably not coming back anytime soon. Super Kick Party. We get the Young Bucks return to confront Sting and Darby because they're dicks now.
We have talked about this. And it's good.
These conversations.
Well, it's good. No, what I'm saying, this is something we talked about, and it's a good idea, and it's something I wouldn't hate at all. Yeah, no, that's fine by me. Why not have the young dicks do it? The Dick Bucks. You're frozen, so it's great. Why Soulable brings up a comment and says, this is why I don't mind all the titles in AEW. When you have all these talent, you just got to have something for them to all fight for. I disagree with this statement. And I'll tell you why. Just like the Continental Classic, if you tell me that almost half of your field is going to join the finals, I'm not as invested. When you have so many championships, it feels like a participation trophy. And I think a good example of this, and hopefully Jeremy can at least hear me, is the 4-way that they ran where Trent got number 1 contendership for the Continental Championship, and he's going to take on Eddie Kingston. Why Trent? What is, other than I won a match and now it's just me solo, so hi, why would it be Trent? Why does that work? Why wouldn't you have someone like, I don't know, Brody King, who beat Eddie Kingston in the first round, to come out and be like, I'm going to beat your ass again. Let's do that. I would love to see a Brody King versus Eddie Kingston Continental Classic or Continental Championship match where you make that title mean more than putting Trent up for the title because he won a really good 4-way. This is kind of the thing that I've been saying is when you have so many titles, it often takes away from the importance of other titles. The one thing that they could have done or could do, and maybe they will, is that had Max won the AEW World Championship, or had he retained, you could have had the Continental Classic title take over as the main while MJF walked off for a little while and got, healed up. Instead, you got the Continental Classic Championship as like third from the top, because it's important, but it's not as important. Is it the fan favorite title? Eddie Kingston was very heavily cheered, as he should have been, but it just felt like we're doing Trent's there. That's good enough. Now it's going to be Eddie and Trent. It doesn't speak to me enough, because they're going to do this match on Collision. It feels like Miro is going to be the next challenger. Hi, Jeremy, you're back.
I lost power, Joel. The whole
really?
Power went out.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Too many kids with their damn screens.
Yeah, too many of these kids, all these 12 kids messing with all their screens. The whole power went out on me.
That's impressive. What I was trying to talk about, what I was trying to say, or what I did say, was I didn't like that Trent is the first challenger for the Continental Championship.
Hater.
Yeah, in this case, I am, because we talked about this. How important is the Continental Championship coming out of this tournament? Because it started with why Solable talking about this is why he's okay with having so many championships in AEW, because everyone kind of gets a shot at their title. Well, no, that's not, to me, how wrestling should be. It should be everyone's going after the world championship. It shouldn't be we're all vying for just a belt. What does the belt mean? Is it important? Is it not? Putting a title on someone doesn't mean anything if the title doesn't mean anything. Eddie Kingston winning the Continental Championship made sense, but now it's just becoming the guy who's very popular holding 3 belts. There's no meaning behind the title. And now Trent going after it, who is a perennial loser in championship matches, let's face it. Why? He won a 4-way. Great, good for him. But the 4-way was full of people that also are not common winners on the program. Brian Cage, Vikingo, and Trent and Brian Keith. These are people who are not lighting the world on fire in AEW. Why are they going after Eddie? Why are they getting the Continental Classic Championship match? Why isn't someone like Brody King, I said, going after Eddie and be like, I beat your ass first, so I should be first in line. Let Brody King tear through Brian Keith. Have those two have a good match, and then get Brody versus Eddie for the title. I think, and as you came back is what I said, because they're going to run the title match on Collision, I wouldn't be shocked to see Miro come out and challenge for it next. Eddie and Miro.
Miro and Eddie had a great match at All Out 2021. I'd love to see them.
That was the replacement match, wasn't it? Miro replacing somebody, or what was that? When Miro was injured, or was that a different match?
No, I'm pretty sure that was the old Redeem These Nuts match.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I think I'm thinking of Miro replacing someone in the Full Gear tournament.
That was Brian, when Brian and Eddie faced. I don't think. No,
they brought Miro in for like one random match on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think he replaced. Yeah, I don't remember who he replaced in that, but I know what you're talking about. But no, Miro and Eddie was always booked for that show. Yeah, I understand what you're saying with the titles. Okay, here we go. Let's just do a 4-way contender match. Trent wins. Tony loves Trent. Oh, he's made this no secret. He loves Trent.
He does.
Eddie and Trent will be a good match, but if you're just gonna have a title to just book contender matches, to book championship matches, like, all right, I'd like a little bit more, but this is sort of this is honestly, I'm okay with it in AEW terms, because I don't think they're as strong with the kind of the weekly episodic television and the stories of this. So they're going this route to just give great matches with stakes, and then you go from there. So I'm kind of okay with it. I mean, Orange Cassidy is sort of doing the same thing. It's like, hey, guys talking. Orange Cassidy's like, all right, so you want a shot at the title. Orange Cassidy is basically doing an opposite of an open challenge. He feels like he is always being challenged. So he's just doing these matches. I'm okay with that. I do agree with you, by the way, that, and this is what they do strongly in the G1 of like, hey, if you lost to somebody in the G1, that's the dude that you're probably facing in like you're putting the briefcase on the line against them. So Brody beat Eddie. Eddie got his win back against Danielson because he beat him in the league finals. Like that, I can you don't have to have Danielson go after Eddie. But Brody beat Eddie. So yeah, Brody should be like on this title, dude. And maybe they will. Maybe that's the setup for Collision. You know, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves and be mad about things that have or have not happened yet.
And
so
I
maybe
do
that's the
think-
setup for Collision.
Yeah, and I do think they're going to run that. And I do think that that's a good idea because it's such an easy match to run and it's such a good match you can do. So that's fine. For me, it was just like, why the 4-way? Why Trent? Like, what do we, other than Tony loves
Trent?
It just
Sometimes that's the simplest explanation. What is Tony Khan like? He likes Trent. All right.
Razor. Tony's razor right there. Just anyway. Let's talk about the opening segment. This is what the thumbnail's all about. Undisputed Kingdom have arrived. Is it has arrived or have arrived? You're the grammar guy. I'm not.
I ask my wife on these things. I always look at it as if it's one entity. So it would be has arrived.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't Grammarly didn't tell me otherwise, but then I looked at it and I was like, didn't it be have arrived? Anyway, but now we're getting into semantics. That's what we do on this show. If it's not research, it's semantics. Adam Cole comes out. He's got his walking boot and his one very nice Jordan on. He's the only guy wearing a different color other than black on his foot. Everyone else is wearing black boots. Good for them. And then he's flanked by his new Undisputed Kingdom, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, Wardlow, and Roddy Strong, who's got his mustache game on. What happened? What November came and went, and now it's January, and now you got the mustache growers. They're in full force. Him and Adam Page. Let's go. Anyway, I want to pop you and you didn't laugh. It's okay. So
sorry.
Adam Cole comes out and tries to explain what this group is. I'm trying to pick my words carefully. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. What I didn't like
strongly disliked it.
No, I wouldn't even go that far. I do appreciate that they tried to explain certain things. What I don't appreciate is trying to explain why Cole spent so much time in Roddy's backyard doing shit for Roddy and getting annoyed with him, only to them recruit them for the devil angle. While he was trying to call MJF and MJF was trying to call Adam. Was that Adam Cole being like, I got frustrated, but I was still with my friends? Is it a blind thing, like a blind to the reality thing? There's one thing, one idea. Wardlow, given that look, I know a lot of people talked about it. It feels like they're gonna do a Wardlow turn sooner than later. That makes it hard to invest in a group like that. But again, this group has a lot of storytelling ahead of them, I hope. It just felt like the first time they ran this promo through whoever, it was like, yeah, we're good enough, but what if we could do it better? There was no what if we can do it better. I want your thoughts on it because it's okay, but there are still some holes in there.
I kind of lived without the Wardlow thing just because two reasons. One, I ain't got much interest in Wardlow and Samoa Joe. I've seen that it was okay, but then they kept kind of doing it. Hobs was involved. It wasn't much for me. I just, when I look at the contenders for Samoa Joe, I'm excited for like Swerve. I'm excited for Hangman Page. Like those are the matches I'm excited for Samoa Joe. Wardlow, not excited. They've cooled them off too much for me to where I don't care about Wardlow to that level. Maybe they can get me there, but Adam Cole saying he's going to go after the world title. When he wins, he's going to hand it to me. And then Wardlow just being like, yeah, no, definitely not, buddy. And that just makes me, all right, why are we working together then? Is Wardlow just going to hang around because he sees these guys as, hey, these guys are my meal ticket to the world title. And then once I win, I'm not going to give it to Adam Cole. I'm going to turn on them. But then Adam Cole is like, oh, why does he need Wardlow to do all of this? I think it makes Wardlow look kind of stupid. It's that part wasn't for me. It did feel a little firmish of like, here's this guy. He's going after this title. Here's this guy. He's going to go after this title. And this is not their fault, but Adam Cole can't walk. And when you got this big bad leader and he's just sitting there on this chair and like,
you can chicken shit heel him though. You can do
they
that.
did, yeah.
And they did that because this is the one thing I did love was at the end of that promo when you've got, Gun Club and you've got Bang Bang Gang, and you've got the Acclaimed all in the ring, and you've got Medical surrounding Adam Cole, and they're like, nope, can't touch him. No, can't touch him. I like that. That was good chicken shit heel.
Yeah, that part was good. It is just unfortunate that Adam Cole is on this bum ankle, and he's got to sit there and deliver these promos, and he doesn't, and then he's got to like delicately get out of the ring as people come. And it's like, oh man, it doesn't look great. It's unfortunate because I like Adam Cole. I think he's great as a heel, and I do look forward to what once he gets healthy, what this run like really looks like. It wasn't my favorite promo of all time. I liked that the Acclaimed had an issue. I liked that Bullet Club had an issue. I don't understand history jokes, Ryan. Sorry.
History enthusiast.
I don't know who FDR is. Is that Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler? FDR?
Yes,
right?
That's exactly who it is. Yeah. Franklin Dax Roosevelt.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah. Now this would rule, actually. You treat it like the X-Men? I'm for that now. Him like limping, that's where they're missing it, I think. Is him like doing the limp with the crutch and stuff? That's what takes me out of it. If he goes full wheelchair the whole time and he's like pushed around by Wardlow.
No, we did that.
And then you got...
We did that.
What?
We did it. We did that with Roddy Strong. We can't do that again. We just did it with Roddy. And then Roddy pushed the wheelchair off the thing and he's like, we're done with this. Can't do that with Cole. Now Roddy's in the same group.
Now you can, because then Wardlow pushes the wheelchair and Wardlow's like the little bitch the entire time. And then he has a reason to be mad about this stuff.
So I do appreciate, and I don't, maybe it's not appreciate, but I do, no, I'll say I appreciate that Wardlow, his character here, while it is being the heavy for another smaller guy like he was with MJF, he did it he did it really well with Cole, getting him out of the ring when everything we talked about, Bang Bang Gang and the Acclaim, and like rushing him to his corner to protect him. What's the meal ticket here for Wardlow? Because if Adam Cole's saying, is this like Wardlow's redemption after all? Is Wardlow the one that actually turns babyface and we do the Batista, thumbs up, thumbs down world title thing? That is kind of the way it's feeling for me right now, is that he's going to come out. I don't know if he wins the world title, but let's say he does for whatever reason. And then they give it to me, Wardlow. And Wardlow's like, no. They do a whole ceremony, a big process, and then that's it. Wardlow's out of the group, but he's babyface on the way out.
They got to do some work to get Wardlow.
They do.
To that level.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're doing that off of this Samoa Joe run, by the way. Like, they got to work to get Wardlow to that level. And that's why I didn't like care for the line here. Just, you could say Wardlow's going after the title. Wardlow's going after everything he is owed that MJF did not appreciate about him. You don't have to say, and then he's going to hand it over to me. You don't have to say that. Don't put that line in there at all. And this is a better promo.
Yeah, they definitely have some, not retconning, but they have some explaining to do when it comes to that line, because it did kind of take a lot of people out, including myself, of just being like, what are we doing? Why is he doing this? He just joined your group. So you better have something for him that's not just your Adam Cole's heavy, like you were MJF's heavy, and anything you do is at the behest of your keeper. You're not Killswitchosaurus. This is different. You don't wear that mask. You took that mask off. So we'll see. I like that it was there. I like that they tried to do the explanation. I don't love that they're like, we're going after titles because we've been there before. And again, like, I'm going after the international championship. I'm like, well, that title doesn't mean a lot right now anyway. I think D. Felice had mentioned, that they're going to save the TNT title for Kyle O'Reilly. And I was like, no. Kyle O'Reilly's too young for that TNT title. They're going to put it on Big Dick Bob Fish, bring him back, and his 150-year-old ass going to beat Adam Copeland.
Oh, man. If Big Dick Bob comes back, it's over. It's over for everybody in AEW. Completely over.
Done. He's going to win the world title. Bob Fish and Samoa Joe? Oh, that's the match you want to see.
It's a great
You want
match.
to talk about Taipe death matches? That's the one.
I don't need that. No, just let them go in there and have a shoot fight against each other.
Oh, blood sports.
Yeah,
My God, I'm down for that.
great match. Now the title thing. That's where the AEW can feel like it has a title problem. Just go after these titles. You don't got to be like, he's going to go after this title. Why? Why didn't he just go after it? Why do you have to say, like, it's this title? Why didn't he want to go after Eddie Kingston? Why doesn't he want to go after the world? Just go after it. Like, I understand the whole mission statement of, like, you want to tell what everybody is going. You don't have to tell these things all the time. Just go do it. I like this stuff with MJF. I liked Adam Cole's explanation of, like, why he set up MJF in the way that he did. But, like, the whole mission statement of, like, here's this guy. He's going to go out again. Very big firm vibes on that. And that didn't go too well. Just go after this stuff. It's okay. We will get that when we see, like, oh, hey, look, Roderick Strong, for some reason, is going after Orange Cassidy. Wonder what he wants. Oh, he wants the title. All right. I get it. I don't need to be like, he's going to go after this title.
They should all have every title. There should be 20 people in the Undisputed Kingdom, and
They
all
should just,
go
like,
after titles.
They should ignore the Acclaimed. You know, the Acclaimed came out and ran them off. They should just ignore it and be like, nope, we never said we were going after the trios titles, so we don't want anything to do with you guys. They just simply walk away. They do like a I don't know, a triangle triangle trios match. That's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Triangle trios match. Yeah, with the Acclaimed.
A Tornado
Bullet
6-man, so, you know.
Now, Tornado 6-man is 3 versus 3, but they can all fight together.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were going for. That'd be much more entertaining for me, at least.
No, triangle is there's 3 teams of 3.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah,
it's
so
messy as hell.
It's the Acclaimed. Yeah, it's 9 people total. So it's the Acclaimed, it's Bullet Club Gold, and it's the Undisputed Kingdom. And then the Undisputed Kingdom just, like, leave and be like, nah, we don't want these trios titles. This is not part of our mission statement. We renounce our rights from this match. We choose to exclude ourselves from this narrative.
And somehow the House of Black still walks out with the trios title. How did that happen? Oh man, those pink belts, man. That was a decision they made to never have those titles be defended again.
It's been a while for that. I'm glad the Acclaim showed up like 2 weeks after, like, we're gonna find who attacked MJF. They found them finally. Good job, crack detectives out here.
Were they at World's End? Like, were they just hanging out backstage and just?
Yeah, they were in a pre-show match, weren't they?
Who cares either? Yeah, they were. No, that was Dynamite the week before, wasn't it? When
I don't showed up. Yeah, they were in a dark match on, like, Dynamite.
Yeah, right. You know what they should do? This is why I miss BTE, because you could have easily done a bit where the Acclaimed are backstage and they see the reveal and they're sitting in, like, their locker room or in catering, and they're just like, oh, son of a bitch, there they are. Should we go? No, they're angry. And then they just turn back to whatever they're eating. And then it's back to the next segment with Dark Order. I don't know. That's the one thing about BTE that I miss. It got snarky.
It got snarky.
It stayed snarky.
Yeah, it was very snarky, always. BET should get more flowers, honestly. It was a good show.
It was. And now we got Being the Dark Order. And anyway, I will, by the way, going back to Deonna, we talked about this a little while ago. I wouldn't mind seeing Deonna and Britt work together. I know Britt Baker's been back in the news, or at least giving interviews and talking about what's potentially next for her. I wouldn't mind those two, at least, if not feuding, then working together, because they are clearly good friends and it would make sense. And there's a built-in story that you could tell. And they have personal, like, photos that they could share from, like, oh, you were at my wedding and you were at my whatever party. Like, there's that personal element gets built in, and I like that.
And Britt is a baby face, I believe, the last time we saw her, which was September. It was September.
That was also, was that State College? Because she was at home. She had a hometown match. That's why she was a baby face.
Statlander in September. That's all I remember. I couldn't tell you where it was.
Cage match will tell me, but go ahead.
Pittsburgh is her hometown. She wasn't on the Pittsburgh show. Remember, I was complaining about that.
But she's been off for a while.
She's been off since September.
Yes, no, I know that. It's not the point I'm making here. Matches. Chris Stylander. Yes, State College. I was right.
Okay.
That was a hometown. That was her big, that's why she was a babyface, because they called this her hometown return because she went to State. She wore State colors.
Babyface before all of this.
I wouldn't go that far, but anyway.
She was feuding with Saraya. She was the babyface in the Saraya feud.
Was she? People were cheering for Saraya, I assume.
The Outcasts were the heels.
Sure.
They were. That was the whole thing.
Harley Cameron is both coming onto and wielding branding knives. We still don't know if she killed QT Marshall.
They should, honestly, they should do more slasher stuff in AEW. I'm for this. I'm for just like murder on these shows.
Buddy, do I have a show for you? It's called Total Nonstop Action Impact.
I tried watching that last night. It was AJ Styles was on it, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle. I didn't see any deaths.
That's because you're not watching it from the good times. You're watching it from the great times.
I'm watching what I was watching the show. I tuned in to see the show, and that's what I saw. That's all I've seen for the last few weeks. But let's do slasher stuff in the women's division. Okay, you want to take someone off television, just like you show them, and then they're down. You just see legs, and then we can do this in the men's division too. I don't care. And then you see the trail of blood. Slasher. We need more horror in wrestling. Honestly,
this is spooky.
No. Like good slasher horror, not like that kind of horror. Like we need slasher stuff. Slasher films are big, man. Low budget, but they make it all back because they're not paying anything for it. There's a good death scene.
It's just like pro wrestling. You're right.
Fair.
I mean, I don't hate the idea. I just want them to be like, Harley Cameron's crazy, but how crazy is she? Tune in to find out when she hacks off somebody's head.
Yeah.
Only on AEW Rampage, live on TNT. The only place where we can get away with it.
Look, if you're gonna bring this thing out, it's much like Drew McIntyre and the Sword. If you got this stuff, just use it. That's okay. Just use it.
The Women's Texas Chainsaw Massacre title match.
This is how we can get like Santana and Ortiz back involved as well. They got a history of like running over children and stuff. Like, it'd be fine.
Yeah, it would work. Yeah. There you go. Like WWE loves their brand deals. Let's go.
I'm saying they should.
They had Chucky for a bunch of Halloween Havocs.
They did. They didn't do enough with him either.
What's that?
They didn't do enough with him, like murdering people either.
No, he was too busy coming on to Liv Morgan, and she was liking it.
Well, see, she gets it. Liv Morgan would be. I think that's one of her. She's talked about this. Like she wants to be involved in like a slasher flick. It's good stuff. No one has the guts, the gusto to go for it though. Just a good slasher angle, and I don't give a damn. I kind of caught myself.
It's funny because you froze as you said it, and then you caught it, so you didn't hear anything until you said it.
I didn't freeze. I froze myself. My feed did not freeze. That was my. Okay. I Arnold Schwarzeneggered myself there, Mr. Freeze reference. I don't care about your whodunit with your mystery attacks and things like and your let me type on a keyboard and like pleasure working with you. Are you a hero? Click 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 click. I don't care about that. I want whodunit with murder, actual murder on the show. That's a real whodunit. Stop taking me out of this wrestling with like Andrade's contract has expired. QT Marshall's contract has expired. Just kill off their characters like a real television show would do. You want to write Joey Tribbiani off of Days of Our Lives? You push him down an elevator. Do some real murders in wrestling to write off their character. I know Impact, you try. You do it.
They did.
I don't need it. I don't need it in the silly Undead Realm style. I need it real slasher style.
Although I really do wonder how they're going to bring back the bunny. knowing that Hallie I think she was flat out offed in Impact.
Yeah, well,
Once they're dead, you can't bring them back that easily.
Eric Young came back. He was fine.
They retcon that in the best way possible. Like, well, you thought I was dead, but they only stabbed me in the stomach. And if you stab someone in the stomach, they ain't gonna bleed out. And I didn't bleed out. I got on my motorcycle and rode all the way through the halls of Nashville. Didn't even go to the hospital. Just down I-90, whatever.
The bunny could just be someone else. She just has darker hair. She's like, I'm not that person. I have no idea.
What if
She
the
gets
bunny?
seanced back to life.
Oh
or
yeah.
Something, you know?
No, because the guy who does that is doing cocaine on NWA.
Well, he can. I'm sure he's got some free time. You know, like I just want a good slasher angle in wrestling. I don't feel like I'm asking too much with this. Just give me a good slasher angle.
And people are mentioning the BTE angle with Cole. Cole wasn't on BTE didn't do that on a nationally televised program. They did it on a YouTube channel. They brought Cole back with the seance on BTE. That was funny. Pet Cemetery starring the bunny, though. She would love that. She is a horror fanatic. If you want to get into that lore, she would be all over that. So anyway, we do hope Allie's well. She's fantastic. I'd love to see her back soon. Maybe she's the big signing for Impact, for TNA.
I mean, we got Hammerstone, Josh Alexander. That's a good match.
That was random as hell. They dropped that at like 10 p.m. on a Wednesday. I was just like, I saw Josh drop the promo on his Twitter, and of course, Hammerstone had dropped a promo as well. And then Josh was like, you want to do this? Let's do this. And they dropped the promo, and I'm like, are they doing this? And then like 5 minutes later, TNA's Twitter dropped the graphic. So Hammerstone and Josh Alexander at Hard to Kill makes sense. Hammerstone's probably going to lose, but at least it's going to be a really fun match between those two.
What did you like about AEW, Joel?
We talked about a lot that I liked. Again, I think the show in a vacuum had a lot of really good stuff. Takeshita and Darby was strong. Mariah May and Queen Aminata was strong. The match with Strickland and Garcia was very strong. In ring, everything worked. Deonna making her debut the way she did, I think that worked. Hangman, the way that he came in, the way that he was House of Fire and he wanted to beat the shit out of everyone for what happened to him, I think that works. I do wonder what they're doing with Bang Bang Gang now, because it looks like they're almost baby facing Jay White, which people want to cheer him anyway, but Jay White's a better heel to me than a face. But in this case, you're trying to get over the Undisputed Kingdom as your next big heel dastardly act. So I understand why they want to go after them, but if they do it right, then you can do Shades of Grey, which is something that a lot of wrestling companies are trying to experiment with and make happen. AEW sometimes struggles with that. I want to see them work that angle properly, especially with a guy like Jay White. The guns people hate. That's fine. That's perennial hatred. That's fine. But what do you do with a guy like Jay White, who unfortunately hasn't been hot since arguably before Full Gear? He went into the title match with everyone just being like, okay, because they did all the nonsense around it with the devil. When they announced the devil, when they brought in the devil and he took out Jay White on night one, it was kind of like, well, you just screwed his entire heat. So I look forward to how they play back Jay White, because he is a good talent. He's fantastic.
Oh, they got a real plan with Daniel Garcia.
Yes, that too. I do like that you had Nana low blow Garcia after the match, and it just keep the heat on Swerve. That needs to keep going. But now, like you said, what do we do with Danny Garcia?
I love Daniel Garcia as a performer. He's definitely shown that he is more than just, great technical wrestler. Daniel Garcia over the past year, he's gotten over. You can tell me he's in for a big 2024. He can tell me I want the opportunities. I want to do this. I want to do that. He continues to prove it on television. Yeah. Will McClain mentioned the socials interview with Garcia and Renee. That's fantastic. I love the vignette that they aired with Garcia on Dynamite, early in the show, and then the main event at the end of the show. They're using him, which is good, which is step one on there, but he can only lose so often and then get a win and then continue to lose again before it gets a little old. So I hope they have a real plan with him, because I think there's a lot of potential with him and Matt Menard, with Menard being that voice, that guide, that dad to him, But I also just think there's potential in whatever Daniel Garcia is going to do and just be a badass wrestler who can stand out on his own. So I hope they got a real plan with him and not just Daniel Garcia can do everything for us and have great matches and do great promos and is on the show, but just is kind of a loser who you're going to cheer for until we kind of give him a win. And then what's next? There are 12 titles that he can go for. That's very true.
But actually, brings me to my next point. If you do something with Danny Garcia, you got a year to build him to make him the favorite in next year's Continental Classic, assuming, well, they've already said, we're going to do it again next year. He could be the guy that they want. His redemption angle can be that title tournament. Could be getting the match against whoever's holding that title. And I'm seeing, Gabe Kidd challenging Eddie Kingston for Battle in the Valley. And that's not official yet, but Gabe Kidd did, after New Year Dash, say that he wanted Kingston. And he doesn't even want the Continental Classic. He doesn't want the Continental title. He's like, I just want the New Japan Strong title. So I'm assuming after Eddie wins on Collision, they announce the match.
Maybe they might just announce it before that.
I'm hoping that if they're smart, Tony and Rocky and whoever's just making those decisions said, just wait, please, just do it after Saturday, or have Gabe Kidd or Eddie Kingston announce to the crowd, do something on TV to make the match official. And, Battle of the Valley is already going to have, a couple of AEW talent on it, isn't it?
Moxley and Shingo in the DQ match, and Okada and Ospreay is the headlining bout.
So you can easily cross promote in a respectful way because your talent's going to be there. I would like them to at least have Eddie get the win over Trent, and I guess then we're going to set up the Gabe Kidd match, and that's fine because then it's next week. So why not make that a thing?
I don't know if they're going to set it up at all. New Japan just likes to roll out these announcements at 1 a.m. our time and be like, here's the card. All right, thanks guys, appreciate that. The setup has happened. They've confronted each other at Lone Star. Maybe it was a different show, Fighting Spirit Unleashed. Sorry, my memory's not good with this stuff. But they've confronted each other before. And now Gabe Kidd has issued the challenge. Usually if a challenge is issued in New Japan, it's happening. They'll make it official, but they're good about, and really all wrestling companies have gotten better about this. WWE for the longest time, there's a challenge, then is it going to happen? I don't know. But nowadays, if a challenge comes out, it typically means, okay, this match is official.
Do you think that Gabe Kidd should sit at the bar? Should he sit? Anyway, I'm trying to make a head of the table reference for The Rock.
Well, that wasn't a challenge. That was a tease, Joel. There's a difference.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, what about CM Punk and Seth Rollins?
That was about the only good thing of this preview special that I watched last night, the CM Punk interview. I thought it was good. It was, he
confirmed something for us.
He said stuff. Yes, he did. He said stuff. But the stuff with Rollins I thought was good. And it came off very, I don't want to use the word likable because I don't know if he was authentic is the word that I was kind of looking for there. It came off authentic of I feel he feels this way, but he was also just kind of setting up some stuff with Rollins as well, which is good in this manner. Well, I thought it was a good interview, good. That was about the only thing from that show that it was oh, this is actually worthwhile of checking out. I was waiting for, They had an interview with Cody, which was taped backstage at Raw at who knows what time. They had an interview with Heyman, which was taped backstage at some show weeks ago. And they didn't ask about The Rock. Where are journalistic principles here that you didn't ask about The Rock in these interviews?
Well, no, Jeremy, this is pro wrestling media. We don't ask these tough questions. We're not supposed to because we're influencers. We're not journalists. We are media personalities.
Would we do an interview with Velveteen Dream?
No. No. Absolutely. Do we get to ask anything and hold him accountable for that bullshit that he put into the world earlier this week? By the way, okay. I love how by the way has become the way that I segue into things. I'm very understanding of myself, reflective. Anyway, so someone sent me the video, okay, when it dropped, And I was like, oh, okay. And then later in the day, I'm like, this should be lighting up my feed. Why isn't this lighting up my social feeds with like people making references to it? Jeremy, I muted that man, his name, his aliases, anything related to, I muted it a year ago easily. So anytime people want to mention his name, I ain't seen it. And the only reason that I saw it was because someone had tested Sean on the interview thing, and Sean had, and I had to go back because it said this tweet contains words you've muted. And so I click it, and it was Sean's tweet being like, several media outlets have been, asked if they want to interview the guy. And I was like, oh, okay. And that was that. And I've moved on.
I watched it. I had no real takeaways other than it wasn't real. It wasn't authentic. It was.
I'm sorry for getting caught.
Yes. Yeah. For any type of record, in case anyone cares, Sean has put it out there that I guess he was contacted. I was not contacted. Velveteen Dream did not ask to appear on In the Weeds. I saw Malcolm tweet some stuff. I think Van Vliet did a Q&A for his latest podcast where he talked about, I've not listened to it. I will be honest with our audience for those that care. Would we do the interview? I know Joel might have certain reservations. I would do it as long as I know certain things can be asked. He wants to answer them. I think Malcolm said he didn't want to do it because he wasn't assured that something could be asked or be answered truthfully. I'd assume we'd probably get that same thing, and I'd be like, all right, well then never mind. But that would be the only reason to do it. I don't really, in this case, I will say, because he put this video out and he's contacting media, do an interview. It feels like he wants to go on like an actual apology tour. And I don't want to be part of that at all. And that's why I would be way more hesitant than usual of like, hey, if we get it offered to Hulk Hogan, would we do it? Hogan, wants to promote this, whatever, the 40-year anniversary of Hulkamania. Like, yeah, but we're going to ask him about this. For Dream, it very much feels like I want to do an apology tour. Let me go on all these shows and stuff. And I don't want to be part of that. So I would have to be assured, yeah, this is going to get asked. It's a live show. Not like you can edit any of this. It's not like you control any of this footage. You got to be okay with it being a live show. And if you're not, tough shit. Like, because this is our show. This is how we do it. So, but we were not contacted, Joel. We're not big enough.
We're too live. And you know what? Again, I agree with everything you're saying. And it's not that I would be hesitant to do it. It is the same assurances you would be after, I would also want. I would want to know that, we're going to get truthful answers and that we're not just being used as pawns in an apology tour with empty platitudes, because that's all it's been. It's just empty words and empty apologies, and there have been no attempts to do better. Again, if you want to apologize, that's one thing. You want to tell me what you're apologizing for, to whom you're apologizing, and for what you've done, and how you are actively trying to do better and proving that you are different from the person that you were accused of being, then you better have those receipts and you better be ready to tell us and show us that you have changed. This feels like a guy who's just trying to weasel his way back into a business that continually brings people back because they think, oh, he said he's sorry, that's good enough. Because for some reason, the logic of the playground logic is good enough, where if you hit someone and you're playing ball and the teacher says, say you're sorry, and you say, I'm sorry, that's good enough. Go back to playing. We need to change that. And we need more people who are critically thinking about shit like this to take a step back when you look at a video like this and say, what is he apologizing for? He's not apologizing for anything that he did. He's apologizing for getting caught. And I'm glad people pointed that out. And I hope more people point out shit like that when others try that shit. because it's very clear that all he's trying to do is weasel his ass back into the business. And that is garbage. And no one should be okay with that. And no one should be hiring him. But unfortunately, a lot of the time we cover a business that's full of shitheads and full of people who are less than savory. So here we are.
He'll go to Japan and
he will. He absolutely will. He will. But again, and this is the thing about I can't speak to Japanese culture. I can only speak to what I've been told before. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. And that's really that the culture there is very much innocent until proven guilty, like 100%. And that's their culture. And if that's the Japanese way, then I'm not going to fault their way of life. And if they're fine with letting people in, that's their call. It's not mine. But I don't need to see him anywhere on television or anywhere on an apology tour, because I just have zero. That name will remain muted until drastic changes have come to his life. And I don't see those at this point. Can't tell me you're matured when you haven't done shit. Don't tell me you've matured. Show me you've matured.
Well, that's what it is with a lot of these people is, some people are upset. No, upset. Some people are remorseful because they got caught, and other people are remorseful because they actually did something wrong and understand that. And that's what's the big example of stuff is like Hogan and what he said, and then the people who you would want to listen to in the situation all thought that stuff was hollow. And then other people who have said stuff, the people who you would listen to in that situation, all said, no, he actually tried to better himself and understood his mistakes on this. So I don't think there's anything with Jay Briscoe, RIP, would be, he said stuff. And then the people you'd want to listen to on the situation all said, no, Jay was actually remorseful and actually took action for what he said. And then again, other people just do it because they got caught and let me now apologize because I got caught so I can remain a favorite of yours instead of actually doing any type of work.
Yeah. Yeah. No interest, no wants, no need, but here we are.
If we get contacted for this, again, I hope our audience trusts enough that it's not going to be, hey, just come on and you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, ain't no partner
it
promo
won't
punch
be,
in the
and
face.
then
Yeah. There ain't going to be no partner promo punch in the face for this guy. It would be a very different conversation than the ones we have with, say, Rickey, Shane Page, right? We had a very light and very, very fun and insightful conversation with him. But I don't need to confront him about stuff because there's nothing there to be confronted about. We did it last time he was with us. We had a very good conversation about the phones and boxes. And I know that this is different, but it's also just the controversies of different wrestlers and what they deal with and the different things that blow up here and there. And again, I'm not comparing what's going on with the, PC over there and Rickey. But my point is, when we do interviews, we are not afraid to have discussions about things that have been brought up and to have them seriously. Here we need the assurances that we would have those discussions and they would be serious. And I really doubt that there would be much levity chopping it up. He would try, who knows? It just comes down to how the chat goes.
Well, they're probably not going to contact us.
Probably not.
And that is completely fine as well. I'm happy being a lighthearted show and not having to dive into this. I apologize that I took us on this topic.
I don't mind it. It's funny because I said, I didn't want, that's all I got to say. Clearly I had more to say. So thank you. Definitely my soapbox, but I like these conversations because I think they're important. And I think that the more people listen to these types of chats, the better it is. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and the creators that I listen to in the space, man, I listen to so many just diverse people, and I'm talking different ethnicities, different skin colors, different backgrounds, different lives, different genders, different non-genders, whatever you want. Those are the people I put most stake in, are the ones who have had a story and aren't just, sorry to say, white bearded guys. There are enough of white bearded guys. I want to hear about the people who really have a different take than what white bearded guys are saying. I understand the irony of two white bearded guys saying this on a podcast right now, but here we are.
Yeah, I listened to Tyrus and Charlie Caruso this week, Joel. Take that. Doesn't get more diverse than that.
That was awful.
They interviewed Ric Flair. Yeah.
That sounds like a trifecta of awful.
That's literally how I spent my January 1st.
Did you get a raise?
Man, I need one after this week.
Good Lord. Get us your super chats. We got a few minutes left here on the show. Let's preview SmackDown because that's tonight. Paul Ellering's in Vancouver, Jeremy Lambert's.
Is he?
AEW Insider said someone spotted him getting a coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a belief that that's coming. They're in Vancouver tonight. I mean,
they've teased it. It's not like this is some big reveal or anything. They've certainly teased it enough to where if it happens, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it now. Why not? It's New Year's resolution.
Who do they go after though? Do they attack Butch and Tyler Bate after they beat Pretty Deadly? Here comes old Karrion Kross with the authors to take him out.
Probably take out Kevin Owens. Going after Logan Paul in that U.S. title. I don't know. It could be that they take out Styles and LA Knight after Randy Orton wins the main event. Yeah, well, that's kind of what they do. Roman Reigns, he's probably
maybe they don't even attack anybody who's listed on this show. Who's just random person, not so much random, but who is somebody who can be on the show and do a promo segment that I'm just not thinking of off the top of my head. And then Cross comes out and gets them. Where's Ray? Ray's always getting
Ray is injured, so that's not happening. Austin Theory and his partner.
That makes some baby faces though if they attack Austin Theory.
Maybe they are
baby faces.
There aren't that many baby faces on SmackDown, especially team wise.
LWO, Carlito's out there.
I guess Carlito just did something in NXT this week.
Yeah.
I mean, they can go after the Bloodline, I guess. No,
they ain't going after Bloodline.
I don't know. That's a 3-team right there of people that aren't going to face Karrion Kross. He goes after
Cameron
Grimes.
Cameron Grimes actually makes some sense. Roman saw that hourglass when Kross returned. He's like, that don't work for me, brother.
Nope. I don't know who you can go after.
Cameron Grimes makes some sense. Grimes is firing up the Canadian crowd.
No, it's Lashley and the Profits because they're slowly turning.
Are they babies?
Yeah, because Bobby Lashley was getting those cheers during the U.S. title tournament. It feels like they're slowly trying to bring those back. AOP and Cross, it would be a thing. Giving this so much thought seems like a waste. Yes, it absolutely does.
How dare you?
This is what we do.
Karrion Kross and Authors of Pain, they've clearly put a lot of thoughts into this, and we should put a lot of thought into our booking of Karrion Kross and Authors of Pain.
Hold on. Let's be honest here. They didn't put the Authors of Pain on the payroll and stash them away in God knows where, Connecticut, for a year, not to have this big plan where they're going to bring them back and they're going to win the Undisputed Tag titles and keep them on. I can't even get through it. You're right.
Have you not listened to the Karrion Kross promos where he has taken out Rey Mysterio and robbed him of his dignity? He has taken out Shinsuke Nakamura and robbed him of his pride, and he turned all of these men, into the selves that they did not want to be. This has been a long-term plan with Kross since returning. AJ Styles comes back. All of a sudden, he's all brooding and stuff. You know who did that to him? Karrion Kross. Rey Mysterio made him made him doubt himself and who he trusts. Who did that to him? Karrion Kross. Shinsuke Nakamura. He had to spit the mist and do all this stuff. Who did that? Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross. Drew McIntyre questioning everything he's ever thought of, everything he's ever believed in. Who did that to him? Karrion Kross. This has all been a long-term plan with Karrion Kross. And if you can't see it, then you need your eyes checked, and you need to look at the book that is written by the authors.
The Fiend, Karrion Kross. Anyway, Roman Reigns is on the show tonight. He returns live for New Year's resolution. So put up your ones and get ready for that. AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and LA Knight. Yeah, they have a match.
Hold on, we can't skip over Roman Reigns. Is he going to acknowledge? The Rock? Is he? What's Roman going to retort here? He's had a week.
You know what I ate? You know what I had at the head of my table on Christmas Eve? I ate bull testicles. Ooh,
awful.
Yeah, well, so was the head of the table line from Raw.
Nah, that was good. The crowd popped for that. That was good.
When they finally figured it out, but it was a 15-minute wait to get there, like at your favorite restaurant on a Friday night.
Rock was building it up. It wasn't because he was like out of breath and everything. It was building it up.
I hope he ignores The Rock. It's that he just like, I don't want to talk about no Brahma Bull. That's old school. That's old. Nobody cares about that. No. Solo, go beat up The Rock. Oh, talked about him. Yeah, it's gonna be like, you smell it. Yeah, you smell that. It smells like crap. That's basically it.
You guys aren't giving Roman enough credit.
No, listen, we can't all be $7 Productions writing lines for The Rock over here. Okay, Mr. Brian Gewirtz.
You guys are not giving Roman enough credit for how good he is on the microphone, how good he sells this kind of stuff. I actually think Will is on the right track here.
I said that.
You didn't do it good enough, Joel. You didn't do a good enough job. You didn't do a good enough job. Because then you were talking about everybody else. I think like Heyman brings it up. Heyman and Roman's just like, that dude, we ain't gonna see him again. Who cares? Cares that? I'm not worried about that guy. And then he just moves on. Roman's got to do something with it. I trust Roman Reigns. I trust that Roman Reigns is gonna have a nice little like Roman Reigns like response.
Will Chisholm sends a super chat, and you can too until the end of the show in about 5 minutes. It says, do y'all think Andrade shows up tonight or at the Rumble? Surprise. P.S. They did the same with Bray when everybody hated Seth and had Bray turn him heel. Again, like I said, it's Cross the Fiend. Andrade tonight, I wouldn't hate it. I think we've kind of discovered that he would fit best on SmackDown, but I don't know with whom you'd put him unless you put him with the LWO, which kind of feels a little forced at this point.
Do you know what killer spelled backwards is, Joel?
Yes, TJP.
Did you see that shit? He was the Aswang.
Yeah. It sounded like the ass wipe.
This was the opening match of Wrestle Kingdom, and he comes out. He was in a casket because they lost the cat. Comes out to him. I'm like, what's happening?
This is spooky.
This? What's going on? The Aswang. It looked cool. Like I give him credit on that. I was like, like he put a lot of thought into this. I respect how much thought he put into that.
I hope that Dylan Postal is taking notes right now, and he is planning his new gimmick, the Aswoggle. That worked. It popped you. We're moving on. AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and LA Knight in a triple threat that Randy Orton will surely win to get Roman Reigns for the Royal Rumble. Am I right or am I wrong?
Are we sure? We might get the old gimmick of feels like a while since they've done this. Someone can correct me. The old gimmick of Solo and Jimmy come out and it turns into a DQ and Roman's like, guess I ain't gotta work, brother. And then old Aldous is like, nope, now it's a 4-way match. We haven't had that one in a while, I feel.
Seems like a bad idea though.
I'm just letting everybody know. Just letting everybody know.
Cody Rhodes comes out. I'm finishing the story first.
Nah, man, Cody bitched up on Raw, didn't come out and confront Rock or anything. Rock did the whole America thing. Cody just stood back there.
Because the thing is they're running for different parties in 2020 8.
He still should have come out then.
You all know because they still haven't. They gotta. There's cohesion there. They got to work together if they're, they're trying to go for their presidential bids. They
Cody
both
had
have
to get
different ideas.
Cody had to get some babyface heat back by sending the wrestling club to WrestleMania 40. It'd be like, oh shit, Rock's got America. I got to get the wrestling club on my side. Wait till the Rock gets wind of the wrestling club. He sends the whole school, not just the club. He sends the whole damn school. He sends all of Brooklyn to WrestleMania.
He gives them all trucks.
Let all these middle schoolers drive.
They all learn how to drive. That's the thing. You win the TWC, you win the world. It's just like the Iowa ballot. That you win the TWC and that's it.
The Rock's gonna pay for all of their driver's ed classes and get them all new cars as well. He's like, if you guys get straight A's, I'm gonna get you all into driver's ed and get you all new cars. Then they all get it, and then The Rock has to come back and all he can do is pay for like one driver's ed class and like one car.
Rock's thoughts.
Yeah.
I see you. All right, we got a minute left. I got to get out of here. Kevin Owens and Santos Escobar for the U.S. title. And then Logan Paul is going to be on the show, so I assume he'll get involved in the final of that. Kevin Owens going to win?
Maybe, but it feels like that might be a Mania thing. But it also, I don't think Santos Escobar and Logan Paul feels like a big match. It's a big match, but like that doesn't feel like a match. It feels like Owens and Owens wins.
Yeah, I do those ones, and then I do LA Knight and Logan Paul at WrestleMania. I think that'd be fun. Yeah, and then the winner gets the Slim Jim card that they eventually find at the bottom of Lake Superior.
Now they found that thing.
Oh, they did find it. Good for them.
Fast Meat was the name of that car.
It's like my wife calls me. Meat Jim takes on Io Sky for the women's championship. Io gets the win. We set up Io versus who knows next. Bianca Belair. I don't know. And then Butch has to find a partner in Tyler Bate.
Is it gonna be Tyler Bate?
I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's Tyler Bate. Maybe it's Charlie Dempsey on his way back from a excursion.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. Okay,
I wouldn't hate it, but I don't think it's going to happen. We'll see what happens. That's SmackDown tonight. It's going to be a fun show. Rampage is also a fun show that y'all are going to want to watch because it's a tight hour. It's good to go. Collision is on Saturday.
A tight hour?
Yeah, it's a tight hour.
Oh.
It's the fastest hour in television, as I've been told.
Okay.
Anyway,
right, sure.
let's get out of here. I'm on a tight budget here. Do you want to plug anything before we talk about next week?
Watch the show next week.
Yes, we'll have a guest on Monday morning from TNA. We have a Jody Threat on Wednesday morning, tentatively. That's the plan. Jody will be with us on Wednesday. We have another TNA guest on Monday. And then Friday, I will not be here. Odds are SB3 will be here because I will be.
Really?
Yeah. We talked about this. That's next Friday.
I don't remember.
I'll be on a plane going to Las Vegas because it's hard to kill weekend. And it's also CES, but that's neither here nor there. Rob and Maggie are live at 3:00 here on the channel, as always. And that's it. Come and check out the shorts, by the way. We have Cookie Guys been making some great shorts for us. The first one is dropped. What do you want? And then I can get out here.
It will not be SP3 next week on Friday.
Okay, it won't be SP3. It'll be somebody else. Or maybe no show. Who knows? Oh,
it'll be Mickey. Mickey Mouse is going to join me on the show next week, everybody. Ha!
All right. I am at Joel Pearl, JOELPEARL. Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you